All right, my guys in the trenches, here we go. Here's the 18 drills that we will be doing this season. I've looked at about 30 or 40, and these ones I narrowed it down to, may add something back in later, but I want you to get comfortable with these now. If you've been at practice, you've seen some. If you haven't been able to make it yet, this will help get you caught up as we go. These first couple drills, I'll let these guys talk you through them. We've already done them in practice. They were in the other video I sent out. I'm going to definitely hang on to them, but here we go, gentlemen.
So here's how we'll drill it. We'll just plain simple, when we're introducing steps, just to force them to drive off that backside knee, drive out of that backside hip, we're just gonna put them on a knee. So they'll go ahead, they'll go on a knee. Right now we've got inside zone going to the left, so I should see this front side knee, or the knee that's up, that should be over my toes. So if you look from the ankle to the shin, it creates an acute angle. Okay, so that's over my toes, and then we're just driving out. If I look at the kid in the purple sweatshirt, he does a pretty good job of it. The kid in the gray shirt isn't bad. I don't like how he hinges. He hinges, that just tells me your knee's not over your toes, it's behind there. So then we'll go, now we go right. One thing we say here, if I look at the kid in the purple sweatshirt, he's lateral and not vertical with it. So he's not playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Run game's about moving the ball forward, moving forward. We can't want to move the ball forward if we're not moving forward with it as well.
So, as you can see here, footwork and pad level, right? That first step, we're gaining ground, stepping over the board. Second step's got to go vertical through the crotch, and then we're running up the board, right? Now, as you can see, as these guys are coming through the end of it, all right, we want to see you roll your hips through, unlock your hips. So the number 70 right here is doing a pretty good job of it, rolling his hips through, finishing the drill, and that's what we want to see each rep. And again, this is something that we start practice with almost every day, just as a way to get guys loose, get them working on their footwork and working on bending their knees and playing with good pad level. All right, angle the boards, inside footwork, outside footwork, whatever you want to do under there. All right, but this is just an example of how we do it. All right, so another thing that we spend a lot of time on is the leverage sled, okay? I'm not going to show a million clips of everything we do at practice. I'm going to show a couple of them, talk about them. That way you guys can use them at home or, you know, at school, wherever you need to use them. But we'll use the leverage sled, all right? So here we go with the first clip. All right, here's what we want to do. Coaching points, all right? First step, we want to gain ground on that first step, all right? That second step, we want to step through the crotch, vertical up the field, all right? We always want to play with violent hands, thumbs up, elbows together, and unlock your hips and finish. So here we go. We're working inside footwork here, all right? Inside number cutoff. This is pretty good by the right guard and the right tackle. All right, they're gaining a little bit of ground on that first step, making contact on that second step as it's driving vertical, striking with their hands, and unlocking their hips and finishing. All right, here we are again. All right, now we're working an outside shade. Same concept, right? Now on this one, as you can see, the right tackle here, he's not gaining any ground on that first step. He's kind of pivoting. So we want to see a little bit of gain ground on that first step. Second step, getting vertical upfield. Strike with the hands and unlock the hips.
Offensive line zone block unison drill. The purpose of this drill is to keep all 5 offensive linemen in unison, working together on the same level when covering the distance to second level linebackers. Drill setup. Place a full offensive line, center, guards, and tackles in their normal stance with normal splits. Place 5 defensive players in the alignment you expect to see that week, but 5 yards off the ball. Key coaching points. At the start of the drill, players will zone step left or zone step right. Players will work extremely hard to stay connected and in unison with their footwork while climbing to the second level. Staying connected ensures one player does not get in front or behind of his fellow teammate, creating a gap that a defensive lineman or linebacker can penetrate. While keeping proper body position and covering the space, defensive linemen will work to their assigned block, strike, stick, and finish. Proper timing and working with the man next to you is key to good zone blocking technique.
This is just hand placement and replacement. The defensive guy, after a couple steps, will chop down. You get your hands back inside the frame. Again, points of emphasis, your feet, obviously, your butt down, back straight, but your hands, you've got to have your wrists above your elbows. You heard me say it a bunch, wrists above elbows. This one shouldn't take too long. You go back and forth with it with your partner. Biggest one we're looking for here again is the wrist above elbow, as I just mentioned, but also you better not horse around with this one. You just get the job done. Take this stuff seriously. Work your partner. The one I have not incorporated yet is just quick feet, quick feet, quick feet. Looking again to keep the body posture right, get the hands there, get the hands ready to go. But again, the feet back and forth, sideways, and then come through at the end. Working with a medicine ball is a great way to get your pop in there without hitting your partner too much. But here's one where you'll come up, you'll pop, and based on the angle, you'll switch hands. So you get using both hands on this. And again, watch the feet, watch the hips. You want to stay pretty much squared up as you move this man. This is another one just to get used to moving the hands and the feet at the same time here. You've got three guys in front of you. You step in and pop with the left, then two hands to the man in the middle, pop to the right, moving your body, not just reaching, then coming back to the man in the middle, get the two hands in on the chest and drive. Again, this just works your hands and your feet. It gets you used to it. You got to keep moving. One of my new favorites we did the other day, which is form fit, short, choppy, slow, then transition to, when you get to the cones, fast feet, get them moving faster, and then when you get to the end, get that shove, get that power finish in. Call this one my pow drill because you got to pop that guy on your side and then square up to get your block. Right, this is where again you're helping out. If your light is basically yellow, you want to step in, make the pop either right or left depending on where it's at, and then move yourself off to the next level. You see these guys doing this here. It's got to be violent. You have to get into that guy. It's not just getting a hand out there, shaking his hand and see how he's doing. You got to pop him. Boom, pa-pow. Boom, just like that. You got to go. Make the hit, then move on. And then drive into the man you're supposed to get to. We'll work both sides on this. Again, notice that the hips have got to roll through. When you get up to that second block, those hips have got to roll through. On the pow, the first hit, you're low and you're popping. And as you get to the second level, that's your pow. That's your roll the hips through, get the hands in and pop. Short and quick. This is just an explosion drill. Get used to being violent. Get used to hitting the two-man hard. 6-point stance, drive into that thing. You'll notice that the explosion then transitions into the drive and lift, getting those hips underneath, rolling the hips through, lifting that two-man up, driving it. then popping the two-man as if it's the inside and the yellow, and driving off to the back or at the second level. So we'll do all those things. There's 4 steps: the drive explosion, the lift, the pop and roll out, then the pop and come off and make the next block. So there's 4 all parts to this one. Thing I want to make sure you guys are noticing is that every time we're hitting in that two-man sled, you're hitting with violence. You've got to go hard. You can't go soft and expect to be hard on game nights. You have to drive in. And then as you make the contact with the guy downfield, again, the 2 hands, it is not pitter-patter. It is definitely making contact. All right, you're going to get hit in this game of football, so you've got to make sure you get those hips rolled up, make the contact, and drive. And hit everything with violence. Kind of the ride 'em out cowboy drill, where you've got the offensive lineman starts with his hands on the defensive player's chest. On the go, the defensive lineman is going to go either right or left. It's important that you keep your right hand or your left hand, depending on the direction he's going, the direction side, on the player's chest. All right, you want to keep it on their pectoral of the direction they're moving. The back hand cannot get outside the box. It has to go to the armpit of the defensive player to keep control. So you want to keep things inside. So there's a lot of hand and direction movement on this one. Constant contact here. You get the line of 3, with or without the medicine balls. You need to, it's almost defensive in the fact you're shedding 2 guys before you get to the guy you got to drive, but it's just to get you to understand one body position. Have to keep it right with your butt down, your back straight, get your hips rolled up. You've got to drive into the first 2 guys to get rid of them, and then drive the man you're supposed to block. Football's going to be constant contact with somebody. I'm working on getting a stick for the stick drill. This one, the offensive lineman's hands need to be inside. The defensive player hands on the outside. Offensive man, you have to hang out of that stick as long and as hard as you can. Defensive guy, you got to do whatever you can to try and control him. It's just a battle of wills, but again, keeping our hands inside. I call it the 3-man weave, even though you're going to have 2 defensive players and 1 offensive guy. Again, just keep moving your feet. Again, body position, butt down, wrists above elbows. You're constantly moving, getting your hands in their chest. It's a practice of moving your feet and getting the hands in the chest. Hands in the chest, hands in the chest. You're going to repeat it a million times. Hands in the chest, and keep moving the feet. This one I'll show you is the medicine ball drill. We did this the other day. Again, a lot of it is just there's a lot of things going on every play. So you start by grabbing the medicine ball, throwing it to the coach or the player. Then the player comes at you. You got to move him for a little bit, then all of a sudden it's 6 catches back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The drill can progress on to, at one point, once we've got the medicine ball past 6 times, the defender that we're playing catch with will come and try and knock the ball out of your hand. I'm not sure if we're going to get that far or not this year, but again, it's just an aggressive drill. It's a tiring drill. There's other things we can do off this if we grow on this, but for now, those are the drills we're going to look at. Now, to be clear, those are just the drills. That's just our beginning. That's the fundamentals. We need to get that all down. I would love to have that early August. Love to have everybody ready to roll on all those drills so we can power through them. Not sure what we're going to get for team time or individual time to work on these things. Again, build that strong base, build strong hammies, build strong quads, build strong glutes. Get your core ready to go. Make sure you're doing whatever you got to do to get in shape to last. But the next video I'm going to make is going to talk more about situational things. I'm going to give you, I know I mentioned yellow a lot in this video, but green, red, yellow, we'll talk about covered and uncovered, and we'll talk about the rules we're going to have. Once we get the green, red, yellow down, we could probably throw SIG and Sting out and stick with red, yellow, green. And use that for every situation, because it just tells you you're covered and uncovered, and there's rules for each. So that's what's coming up next. I know we've got practice, I believe, on July 7th. If you're not able to come with, baseball or other commitments, let me know. I'd like to know where we're at, but we got to start, again, getting all this stuff down so we are ready to roll come August. Thanks, guys. Hey, I can't say enough how much I appreciate you guys being on the line with me. I look forward to this getting better and better and better. I look forward to this getting violent this year.